You have now entered the Oval Office of Talk Radio for the Gulf Coast with Carl Gallups and Friday. Carl doesn't need a teleprompter. He actually knows the difference between right and wrong, and the difference between common sense and political correctness. He is on a first-name basis with God. What a refreshing place to be. Now, here's Carl Gallups.
Well, as it turns out, things are not always what the media initially reports. A review of Anders Breivik's 1,500-page manifesto shows the media's quick characterization of the Norwegian terrorist as a, quote, Christian may be as incorrect as it was to call Oklahoma City bomber Timothy McVeigh a Christian. Piecing together Breivik's various posts on the internet, many media reports have characterized the terrorist, who says he was upset over the multiculturalist policy stemming from Norway's Labour Party, as a, quote, right-wing Christian fundamentalist. But Breivik writes in his manifesto that he is not religious, has doubts about God's existence, does not pray, but does assert the primacy of Europe's Christian culture as well as his own pagan Nordic culture. Breivik instead hails Charles Darwin, whose evolutionary theories stand in contrast to the claims of the Bible, and affirms, quote, as for the church and science, it is essential that science takes an undisputed precedence over biblical teaching. Europe has always been the cradle of science, and it must always continue to be that way. Regarding my personal relationship with God, I guess I'm not an excessively religious man. I am first and foremost a man of logic. However, I am a supporter of a monocultural Christian Europe, end quote. So as it turns out, our Norwegian terrorist, Anders Breivik, is not a Christian fundamentalist, but he is an evolutionist and a secular fundamentalist. It also should be pointed out that Breivik claims membership in the Freemasons, which many Christians consider to be a cultic and definitely non-Christian organization. Breivik prattles back and forth in his manifesto about what his beliefs are, sometimes alluding to a Christian background, other times to his pagan Nordic background, but relying heavily upon his evolutionary and secular beliefs. It seems the man is extremely confused and sadly lost, and it would take a confused and sadly lost person to commit such a heinous atrocity of terror, grief, and crime. But the fact is, the Norwegian killer is not a fundamentalist Christian, one who believes in the fundamental foundations of the Christian faith. For the media to characterize him this way is disingenuous, dishonest, and hypocritical. But it also is obvious to most of us that it is par for the course for the media's real agenda.